I'm gonna give you guys a quick hint when you're buying used tanks for your fish room. If you are considering buying a fish room, I'm sorry, buying tanks for your fish room. Always buy used tanks. Don't buy brand new tanks unless you're fucking rich, have the money to blow, and don't give a fuck about reselling those tanks for the value you bought it. Because when you're buying brand new tanks from a fish store, it costs a shitload of money. Unless they have the $1 for the gallon sales, which it's probably once or twice or I don't know how many times a year. But usually at that time the tanks are all sold out. But for those that are on a cash crisis or just very low on cash, which is how I did it, always buy used tanks. Hit up Kijiji, Craigslist. For people in Toronto, I guess you could hit up Price Network. There's a few more sites out there. I don't use eBay, stuff like that. I don't do anything as far as shipping because I don't trust shipping with tanks. If it arrives broken, then that's a problem. So when you're buying tanks, some pointers, hit up those sites I just provided you, about 3 of them mainly. Always look for tanks in your range, price range. Usually when you're buying them tanks, you wanna look for a deal that's either $1 a gallon. So for example, if I have this 50 gallon, so someone's buying this, or sorry, someone's selling this as a 50 gallon, which it is, for $50, grab it. It's a wicked deal. This at a pet store is probably around 100 something, just a tank, I believe. So you're already saving 50 bucks or however much, depending on your fish stores and stuff, however much you're saving. So and that you could just put towards fish or stock of equipment. So always go for $1 a gallon. If you find a tank that's 40 gallons or 50 gallons and it's so if it's a 50 gallon and you see it for $30 or $20, grab it. Even if you're not going to use it, resell it for $1 a gallon. People will buy it, so you can make some cash. That's what I do. And look at all the fish that I have. I have a shitload more. Just check my other videos out. I'm very happy with my stock. Got a lot of F1s and not Wildcats, but F1 from Wildcats. So it's Wildcat babies. Very good quality fish. So I just bought this 75, for example. I paid 40 bucks for it. That's amazing. Reason being, when it's $1 a gallon, it's $75, and that's quite a bit of money. But when you need a big tank, you need it. So I have it here now sitting, waiting for the fish that I need to buy. So that's that. Always go for $1 a gallon. If not $1 a gallon, then I guess go with your price range. Go with your price range. How much money you got? How many tanks you need? Just kind of manage your cash well. Don't just throw money on tanks, because in the end, this hobby could cost a lot of money, especially when you're buying fish. You lose your fish sometimes, and yes, it hurts, but you gotta always go back out and buy more. So this hobby is very addicting. You'll keep buying more fish, I guarantee it, unless you're not a true hobbyist and just want to have a few fish for display and that's it. I go crazy and I do breeding as well, so I supply for the community, and yes, I buy fish all the time. I'm always on Kijiji. Well, Craigslist is shit in Toronto from where I live, but Kijiji is probably one of the best sites for fish stuff, believe it or not. I didn't know it till I searched up fish or fish tanks, and I saw a lot of shit, and it always updates every like 5 minutes from other people around my area. So it's pretty awesome. I like how there's so much people in the hobby and always providing for others. So that's that. Go for tanks $1 a gallon. If you gotta buy a tank, just consider the cost. That's all I gotta add. That's all I gotta say. I bought all these tanks for very cheap, all good condition. Some of them had to re-silicone. I use this silicone. Just check my video. I give an update on everything. Tanks. Yes, and I got a shitload more actually. I sold a few, but if you don't believe me, that's a 20 long. Came with the gravel, which is nice, and it gave a lot of stones too. That's a 29 or 25 gallon. I got this stand. No, I didn't buy just the stand. I had a tank with it. I sold the tank because the guy didn't want the stand. Don't know if I'm going to reuse this, but I could easily make around 40 bucks off this, because it is pretty big and it's sturdy. Everyone likes these stands mainly because you can stack tanks at the top, stack tanks at the bottom. So they go really fast. For example, like this 20 gallon, it's a double rack, or they call it 2-tier stand, just like this, and they just put tanks on top like this. 5 gallon, 10 gallon. I have more obviously, but You know, I had this whole wall filled with just used tanks that I use, obviously, but now I'm getting rid of because they were smaller tanks. It's always upgrade. It's always, you're gonna end up probably doing, if you're keeping cichlids or peacocks, you're gonna end up getting huge tanks like this: 40 gallon, 50 gallon, 75 gallon, 40 gallon. But I'm gonna get rid of this. Upgrade this back to a 75 gallon because obviously you can't see it's not fitting the whole length. So that's that. Small tanks here, they're good for fries. You know, always keep a few small tanks for disposal because you need them. They're dirt cheap. You could probably buy this. Some people even just give these free. So, you know, you get lucky once in a while. Just be very patient in the hobby. That's the best advice I can give you. Things always come and go. Just react really fast. And keep an eye on the prizes when it comes to fish tanks. You want to be quick because hundreds of other people are doing the same thing and, you know, grabbing your deals. Okay, so that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Sorry for the long video. Hopefully I provided enough advice. If not, just hit me up in the comments. I'll be more than happy to help you. That's my tanks. Peace. Rate, comment, subscribe.